let's create a new scene, a new 2D scene, and we can have this be player. And now we can add a sprite to it and drag that in there. So now if we go to our unsaved scene, let's just go ahead and save that real quick. Okay, so now if we can link a scene and add that character to it. Did I not save that? Come on, save, player, save. Okay, so now if we link that player to this scene, as you can see, it comes up right here. And anything we change to this player, because it's a scene, you can kind of think of it like prefabs in Unity. You know, anything you change to this will update. So if we flip it on the y-axis and we save it, then we can go back to main. As you can see, it's flipped here. And so this is, you want to do this, especially if you have multiple objects like this enemy. We're probably going to have multiple enemies. So if we duplicate them and we decide that we actually want these guys to be flipped and we offset and flip Y, we're going to have to do that to all of them. So that's not really a good plan. It's better just to have a prefab. That way it changes all of them automatically. So let's go ahead and delete this node. I guess I should have deleted all of them, but go ahead and delete this guy. So say we have this enemy player and we decide, okay, we messed up, we added a node, but we actually want him to be a scene. Well, that's fine. All you have to do is right click and go save branch as scene. There we go. So now we can name it enemy and it's saved as a scene. But as you can see, it's not up here. So all you have to do is click this to pull up the actual scene. You could also click down here, but sometimes it gets confusing to find where everything's at. So you can just click that to update it. So now let's go back to main. We can duplicate this a few times, drag it around. And now if we go to enemy and then we decide we want it to be upside down, we can flip Y, save that scene, which again is Command S or Control S if you're on Windows, and it updates all of them. Cool. Well, say we want all of these to update, but we don't want enemy 3 to update. Well, what we can do is we can right click and we can make local. There we go. So now if we make it local, it takes away that scene icon. So now say we want all of them to be right side up except this one. We can go to enemy and let's make it right side up, save it, go to main, and all of them are right side up except this one because it's no longer attached to this thing. It's kind of like if you're using Unity, you know, you detach the prefab. It's no longer a prefab. That's what this is. It's no longer a scene. It's completely independent. Another thing you can do is, so say we add another node to this guy. Say we want to add a bone, a 2D bone. Then we can go back to main, and as you can see, none of these show the 2D bone, but that's just because it's set up to be a little cleaner to not show all of that. So if you do want to show them, it does have the 2D bone, but if you do want to show it, you can right click it and say edible children. And as you can see, these all have the 2D bone. This one, you don't even have the option to make it an edible child, because it sounds like I'm saying edible, like you eat a child, but editable child, because it's not a child. It's not a child of the enemy. So you'd actually have to add it independently because it did not update with this scene. So let's go ahead and add like another something. Let's go add child. Let's see what 2D options we have. Let's add a 2D collision shape. So these are giving me warnings because it's saying I'm not doing it right. I need to add more stuff to this. It can't just be there by itself. I need to change the parameters to make it work. But so let's go like that. Let's save it. Go to main, and as you can see, the 2D collision shape is updated to this. Now you can't change it too much. You can't like delete it or anything because it's still a part of that instantiated object. The only way you could delete it is if you actually made it local, because then you're detaching it. You're kind of like de-prefabbing it. But you can still change stuff like the bone 2D. You can change these properties and stuff, and it'll still update. So that just kind of gives you some options there.